Hi guys, Emerald Elephant here, and we are back with part 2 of this week's speed build. If you have yet to watch part 1 and you're jumping in right now, pause the video, check out part 1 before you check out this, because it's going to show you how we got to this point and exactly what we're doing. Alright, so again, doing a little follower rebuild this week, follower renovation. Continuing to work on the downstairs. We have a lot of little knickknacks, and again, I told you I like to place a lot of clutter around to make it look lived in, to make it look like you had a mom come in, you had a grandma come in and decorate it, and they have little trinkets and knickknacks everywhere. It's always a great thing to do. You want to look like, make your house have stuff, but not look as you don't want it to look messy. I realized I had a building error and there was a hole in my ceiling there, so I had to go ahead and rebuild that wall, delete the floor, rebuild the wall. It fixed the entire problem. Again, Morgyn, the original builder of the home, who asked me to do the renovation, had told me that he really enjoys green, so kind of peep all the little green accents as we go throughout the home. Green is my favorite color, so it made it really easy to kind of add some little green accents here and there without completely bombarding the home in green. When you are building your homes, don't be afraid to kind of mix and match some wallpaper on different walls. Have a little accent wall. If you have a painted room, have one wall that is wallpaper. It just adds a little extra oomph where you need it, and kind of changes it up a bit. Don't be afraid to do different shapes on the walls or make things not exactly symmetrical. And when in doubt with a room, add that gray painted wall with that the crown molding on it. It allows you to do so much more with your room, and you're not kind of restricted to some of the colors you can go to. I went a little basic with this living room, and I went with kind of some white couches, but I do a little bit of mix and matching here with styles, as you'll be able to see once it's all done, because mix and matching styles kind of helps make things, mesh and flow, and it adds a little oddity to the house as well. Which, who doesn't love a little oddity in The Sims, right? Adding that little pop of color there with those maroon chairs. Little pop of color is always a great thing to do in a home. You can never go wrong with adding a little pop of color. If you're afraid to do a hardcore, like, full theme of color, stick with white, stick with gray, then add a red chair, add a green chair, add a blue chair. It just makes it a little prettier, and kind of something for your eyes to get drawn to. Again, we're going to kind of clutter all this up, make it a little more livable. Again, 8 Sims in a home. Your house is probably going to not be perfect. I absolutely love that lamp, that floor lamp in there. I don't use it very often in my builds, but it's wonderful when you get to it. It's like one of those little rare finds. More kitty cats. They're hidden all over the house. I love that little succulent holder, but I think it's way too big initially. So I think every house that I've put it in, I do believe I've sized it down to that size, because it's just so hard to make look right. Because I always want to, like, hide it in a corner. You'll see me place some of these photos around, and then in a second I go back and I change everything. because I'm looking at it and I realize that doesn't look too right. You're gonna see a big change happen. So I realized that I wanted a laundry room in the house. But my initial thought was to have the laundry room on the second floor. Because all the bedrooms are on the second floor, 99.8% of that, the dirty laundry, is going to happen on the second floor. And I wanted this big laundry room. You have a lot of people, a lot of kids running in and out. But as I finish this room up, and I clutter it up, and I add towels and all this decoration, I realize it's not where I want it. So we have to do a little switcheroo. We have to kind of change things up and switch it up a bit. Those boxes from the interior design I absolutely love. Again, like I said in the earlier video, I love the interior design stuff. It adds just a little bit of extra oomph to kind of what you're making. You know, everybody kind of has an old cruddy broom somewhere in your house, probably in your laundry room or in a cleaning closet, which is close to your laundry room, I assume, if your laundry room was downstairs where this would have been. But I get all this settled, I get everything put on, and I go through some hard decisions of what kind of baskets I wanted up there, and then we just ended up with the normal one, and then this nice little pile of clothing that had yet to be folded. So this laundry room will stay there for a while until I go upstairs, finish the upstairs, and realize laundry room was supposed to be upstairs, half bath was supposed to be downstairs. Yeah, so it was a hard realization for me. This is the den. I always like putting dens or a study or a computer room in the house, whatever you want to call it. I think it just adds a little more class, a little more value to a home. And if you have a sim that works from home, it just makes it a little bit easier to kind of put them away. You put them in a corner. They can get all their tasks done. They can do their reports, whatever, while you're taking care of your other sims. And they're not really in the way or in the living room, you know, kind of taking up space. If you don't use alt placement, please put on move objects. Use the alt placement. It's literally life-changing for your builds. Again, it makes the cluttering aspect so much better. It really allows this build to look, like we don't have things just placed in a place because that's the only place we could fit it. Again, if you guys are liking these videos, remember to hit that subscribe button. We'd love to see you back, and we'd love to get your comments and your ideas of what I should do next or what I should build next. Do you have a theme that you would like to see? Put it in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. If you're enjoying this, stop by the stream. You can watch me live on Twitch Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays at the moment, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays at the moment. And there we do Twitch challenges, we do builds, Twitch challenges, Sims challenges, we do builds. I take requests from my viewers and my followers as to what I should do, how should I control these Sims. You kind of help run the show over at Twitch, and you can catch that at EmElephant_. Go over there and hit a follow if you like this as well. And if you're enjoying, come join the Discord. It's our community. We're part of the jungle, and we all get to be little elephants and run around and act crazy and be part of the madness that is Discord, and that is this awesome Sims community. Even if you're not a huge Sims fan, but you like to watch some builds, hop in the Discord. We play Valorant all the time. We play Sea of Thieves. We play a number of different variety of games. So come in and say hi and enjoy us. you can see I just did the big switcheroo on the laundry room and the bathroom, because I realized I needed a half bath downstairs and that laundry room was meant to go upstairs. Remember how I said the theme for this build was change? Still changing. Still have yet to figure out what we want to do with our life. Finally starting to work on those upstairs rooms that Morgyn, the original builder of this home, had requested. With those 3 specific styles of rooms for the adults. Right now, this is the master bedroom, or the main bedroom with that ensuite. And you saw me struggling with placement. I really wanted to make sure there was a his and hers, or a hers and hers, or a his and his, or a they and they. Whatever is for you. I wanted to make sure this bathroom kind of met all of the needs for everybody, for whoever your couple is going to be in this house. So we got that double vanity there, and then you watched me struggle placement of the lights, as well as struggling with the placement of the shower and the tub. Always fun trying to figure out your layout, and something that's not like you've done in every other build, right? I think that's the hardest thing, is making sure you don't do the same things over and over, because I know I get stuck in that pattern sometimes. And trying to push the envelope. Again, trying to get as much green in this house as possible, or in this bathroom as possible, because this is going to be Morgyn's main bedroom, and green's their favorite color, and that was one of the specifications. So we're trying to put as much green in there as possible, without making it clash too much, or to look overly tacky. Little bit of clashing colors here, but it's really okay. It kind of works. It doesn't look too bad. We went with more of a gray kind of wood theme here and wood coloration here, just to help that flow a little better, and so that we don't have anything too crazy standing out. So I hope you guys are enjoying. Again, if you like it, hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate you guys stopping in and viewing this. So again, we are right in the middle of the speed build, part 2 of this speed build. If you've jumped in, I don't know why you would have jumped in right now, but I guess you could have, because we all know computers. Go in and check that part 1 out. You don't want to miss some good stuff of how we got to this point and how I've struggled so much with this build. But it was super fun. Now just greenifying the room, making it, adding a little more pop of color. One thing I like to do with those fans is, fans are big in a lot of homes, right? But what if most fans have on them? They have ceiling lights attached to them. So always trying to find a good ceiling light that fits and that works kind of in or around that fan is something I like to do. Just kind of to give it a little more light, make it a little more, kind of look more realistic, I guess. This next room that we're starting on is that gothic room, that dark gothic. I do a couple changes as we get through here. I double up these curtains because I wanted it to look a little more full, and I actually think it looks pretty good. I go through a couple different beds to try to see which one works the best, but then I kind of settle for one of the base game beds because it really fits. Even though I'm not a gothic and dark person, and that's typically not my style, this house, or this room, really turned out to be probably one of my favorites. We keep kind of this subtle red color in the back. And then you're going to see here in a second that I do a little accent wall. Yes, it's dark and it's not that much of an accent, but I do a little accent wall on the wall that the bed is facing or touching. Just makes breaks the room up a little bit from what we have. I go back and forth with curtains because I like those curtains, but I wanted just something a little more decorative. But then I think I just settle on those curtains because, you know, they look good. They look fine there. There's this accent wall that I'm talking about. I add some pillars in the corner to help give a little oomph. Then we play with this idea of kind of some Gothic curtains over a wall. But I don't think it looks good. It looks kind of awkward. So we end up scrapping that idea and just keeping that accent wall there. Then I got smart and I realized, oh, hey, Emerald, you have so many things at your fingertips. Why don't you just narrow this down to the more Gothic and darker packs and make it a little bit easier on yourself? And that's just what I did. And then this room came together almost instantly. I didn't even have to think about it. It just started working. So if you have any comments about this build, put them in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you would have changed about it. I'm always up for input on how to be better, how to become a better builder. Again, this build is a renovation by one of my followers on Twitch. He stopped in one day and asked me if I would be willing to renovate one of his homes. And I said yes, because I absolutely love to build. He had a lot of say in exactly what I did, what kind of rooms he wanted, where he wanted them, how he wanted them to flow. But he left kind of the creative style and some of the things up to me. For exactly how I wanted to put them in there. This is that country gamer room. I didn't want to go too country. I wasn't sure what kind of country we were going for, but I took my own little spin for it, and I went kind of cats and dogs country style, and that's what I did in this room. And you can see we have a couple different gaming styles. He has a gaming computer. Or this person has a gaming computer. They have a gaming console. They have a stereo system. They're going to have this little chair, little sofa here that they can game from. And one thing that I really enjoyed from this build or this room was kind of the amount of clutter that you're seeing here that I added underneath the bed. I didn't want to put the idea that this sim was dirty, but I wanted to be they're a hardcore gamer. They like to play, so maybe they just don't do their laundry every day. Maybe that's the clothes they just put on they took off for bed last night, and they just haven't been picked up. Maybe they have some little cheat magazines laying there by their chair for little cheat codes on their console. Or maybe some strategy guides for how they can be better at their game that they're kind of just reading as they're playing their little pew-pews or whatever other games they play. I kind of work around some of these posters. Don't worry, they don't all stay there. I'm just going through at the moment and trying to find the ones that I like to see what works the best, and then they get scattered among the room a little bit. To make it look a little more natural, like maybe somebody who really likes gaming and a variety of games might have their favorite games, the posters of their favorite games in their room. All right, and we're done with that room. Now on to this little Jack and Jill bath. Jack and Jill baths are fairly easy to do. If you don't do them, if you don't have Jack and Jill baths in your room, very simple. A 2x3 room, and it makes it really easy to do a nice, fun Jack and Jill. The perk with this is they are so small that you do not have to overly decorate them to make them look good. You can just add a couple decorations here and there, and it looks great. I kept this one as basic as possible because it was going to be shared by two individuals, two drastically different individuals, one gothic, one gamer, so we didn't want to kind of gear it toward one specific person was in there. Now we have the kids' nursery, and I saw another flooring issue here that I had to fix, another build issue that I need to go and fix, so we went ahead and did that. So smaller room is the kids' nursery. This what we're working on right now is the kids' bathroom. And then the L-shaped room, or the little dog leg shaped room that you see on your screen, that's going to be the kids and the teens room. Had to do a little change of windowage, that's the proper term, just to make sure we could put a mirror in the bathroom. You know, it's a kid's bathroom. You definitely want to make sure there's a mirror. They can be pretty gross. And then always, if you change a window on the inside, always flip your camera around, look on the outside to make sure it works, to make sure it looks good on the outside as well. Pretty basic bathroom. I didn't want to do anything too crazy. I really enjoyed making this kids' room with the different colors that I put in there, kind of the different sections, and the use of the bunk beds and kind of how you incorporated the bunk beds. Don't worry, their colors are going to change soon. So they're all different. So they're all going to be fairly similar, as in how their areas are going to be established, but just with the change of color and the slight change of what's around these areas really kind of changes the aesthetic and kind of the idea of who's behind or who lives and resides in that specific bunk area. Parenthood and the kids' stuff packs really made this room fun to build, and gave you a lot of ideas of what to do and kind of different things you can put on the walls to make it really look like a kid has run rampant through the room. Gotta use those little critters, those little void critters. I don't use them very often. I don't do a lot of kids' rooms like this, which is why this was fun for me, because I don't do very many. So it made it kind of fun. Now we're moving on to that kids' room, and I instantly got feedback from Morgan, and he said that this was his favorite room. Depending on what challenge I do, depends on if I do a kid's room or not. But it kind of really made me happy that he said that this was his favorite room, because I wasn't too sure if he would like it or not. One of the things that I did like, again, was the amount of clutter and the amount of kind of toy clutter that I put in the room. That really kind of made it like a kid is just went crazy in there. And who doesn't love Jeffrey the Giraffe, right? Always got to add those fun drapes. And if you put a drape by an object in a room, always make sure you grab that object and just pull it out so that drape's not dangling on it. It just adds a little more realism to that object and that room. going to finalize the upstairs a little bit, add kind of a little walkway, little entryway, make it look a little more homey instead of just barren land. Little end tables or sofa tables are always great things to add to kind of fill up space. Adding some more green for Morgyn. Always got to add that green in there. I actually think I left that plant the same size for one, the original size for once, which is honestly a first for me. All right, the upstairs is done. The downstairs, now we go through and you've got to finish this landscaping. I absolutely love landscaping. I'm going to do a landscaping video, so don't worry about that. But one of the easiest and best things about landscaping, or the easiest way to do landscaping, is make sure you have your foundations turned off. Because if you have that plant or whatever you're putting right by the house, if you have it in that spot when the foundation's 0, when you bump it up, it won't go up with your foundation. And sometimes it's hard to get it placed exactly in that slot if you have a foundation put up. One of the things that Morgyn said was that he enjoyed the what was I going to say? I lost all my train of thought. He enjoyed kind of the pool area, so I didn't want to change that too much. So I kept the trees where they were. I just turned them around or maybe budged them out a little bit just to make them fit better in the lot. I budged that fence out in the back to make it fit a little bit better. I changed the location of the gate, and then run the entire house with a little bush. And now you're just working to fill in the gaps, make it look a little more natural and a little more normal. You can see my little trial and error moments. I don't go crazy with landscaping here. I do some more landscaping in the back, and then just a little bit more here out front, just to make it have more curb appeal and look a little a little fuller. When you're placing trees, just be cautious that your tree does not, like your branches do not stick in the house. So anytime you place a tree close to your house, always go back in and check. You can watch me struggle here. Again, theme of this build is change. You can watch me struggle with the landscape. Place things down, delete them. It happens to the best of us, right? So don't be afraid to change those out. If you don't think they look good, don't just commit with it. If you're getting sick of something and you can't really figure out how to place it, stop your build. Take a break. Take a 30-minute break. Come back to it. It'll come to you, I promise. Right? It'll always work itself out. Some builds are harder than others, and it's okay to do that. So you'll be able to find this build on the gallery. It's going to be called the Grand Suburban. So you'll be able to find it on my page as well as Morgyn's page. Go to their page and download it for me, why don't you? Give them some love. Give Morgyn some love. You'll be able to see their Sims Gallery ID on the screen. There's just this kind of filling in with some of these extra flowers and bushes. I told you I didn't do a lot to the front. I just did a little bit of landscaping just to make it feel like we put some effort into the front. This family's could possibly have a lot of kids. They're not going to have time for a lot of landscaping. And sometimes in the back, when I do the backyards, instead of doing floor tiles, I'll actually just use the terrain paint tool to paint my patios in. The Sims can obviously still use them as normal, but it gives you a little different texture and a couple different options you can use. You're going to see me change this area a lot. It stays as a little landscaped area, but you're going to see me trying to change it around more than not to try to make sure it looks okay. I never use those square hedges, but I honestly thought they fit so well here. And then raising this bush up on top to give it just this extra dimension and not this perfectly square area. Because if you think about it, where that's located, it would be so hard to trim that perfect. And you could see there, I completely forgot that I had terrain paint on that back, and I deleted what I was doing. I forgot that I completely made that up. See, you can just do the smallest thing with your landscape. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be a lot. And it can still look good. I wanted some sort of little water feature here. So we went with that one from the snowpack, or this, or I don't remember what it's called, where you can go skiing, and a lot of fun, really cute. Got to have this exit out the back gate that we put in, and then just some little bushes to line that walkway. Nothing too crazy. It looks nice and neat. You don't have to go overboard.